Thoughtful, AI can write your email, plan your trip, summarize your meeting, and explain your homework. Very convenient. Curious, also a little suspicious, because when a machine starts doing your thinking for you, the real question is not whether it saves time. The real question is whether it slowly turns your brain into decorative furniture. Pause. Hello, my name is Gene. I'm building a club to help people navigate our AI cultural revolution. It is Guildrim. We will master the new AI tools, support people displaced by the machine, and lead them into the cybernetic future. Curious. Our topic today is whether AI makes you dumber. Let's begin. Thoughtful, every age gets a machine that makes people uneasy. The calculator made teachers nervous because students could get the answer without sweating through the arithmetic. GPS made people worse at finding their way across town, which is impressive when the town is a square with 3 roads and a gas station. Search engines changed memory. People stopped storing facts and started storing the path to facts. AI feels more unsettling because it does something those earlier tools did not do. It does not merely retrieve, it drafts, it proposes, it gives language to half-formed thoughts and hands them back with suspicious confidence. Curious. That is why the question lands so hard. Does AI make you dumber is not really about the machine. It is about whether human beings can resist the ancient temptation of convenience. That temptation now speaks in complete sentences. Sarcastic. This matters because AI is no longer a toy for programmers and office weirdos who enjoy arguing with chatbots at midnight. Stanford's 2025 AI Index reports that business use of AI rose sharply, with 78% of organizations saying they used AI in 2024, up from 55% the year before. The same report notes that AI's reach across work and education is widening fast. So, this is no side question for the future. It is a live question for workers, students, parents, and anybody whose brain still hopes to remain employed. The machine is now on the desk. The only issue left is what it does to the person sitting in the chair. Thoughtful. The strongest case against AI is not that it will rise up and conquer humanity in a chrome-plated tantrum. The stronger case is much less dramatic and far more believable. It helps people stop thinking before they notice they have stopped. That is how most damage happens in ordinary life, not through catastrophe, through convenience. When people use AI, they often get something smooth, quick, and oddly reassuring. The answer arrives in clean sentences. The structure looks tidy. The tone sounds competent. For a tired worker, that can feel like mercy. For a student on a deadline, it can feel like rescue. For the brain, it can feel like permission to clock out early. Size, and that is the problem. Microsoft researchers reported in 2025 that among 319 knowledge workers sharing 936 real examples of AI use, higher confidence in AI was linked to less critical thinking, while higher self-confidence was linked to more critical thinking. The researchers also found that AI shifts the work of thinking toward checking, integrating, and supervising what the system produces. That sounds mild on paper. In practice, it is a serious warning. If people trust the machine too much, they may stop wrestling with the hard part of the task. They may accept a polished answer instead of building one. The machine becomes a mental valet, very courteous, very fast, also quietly carrying your luggage away one bag at a time. This is why AI can make people mentally lazy. It lowers the cost of skipping the struggle, and that struggle, unpleasant as it is often where judgment is formed. The person who never strains his mind starts to lose the feel for truth, like a man who stops walking and then wonders why the stairs have declared war on him. The classroom is where this question stops being abstract and starts stepping on your foot. Adults can shrug and say they are using AI to save time at work. Students are different. School is where people are supposed to build the very habits AI now threatens to replace. If a student hands the hard part of writing over to the machine, the danger is not merely cheating. The danger is that he never builds the muscles in the first place. Size. That concern is not pulled from thin air or from the usual tribe of old men yelling at new gadgets. A 2025 MIT Media Lab study covered by Nature found that people writing essays with ChatGPT showed lower brain engagement than those writing without online tools, and weaker recall of what they had written. Nature described the investigation as part of a broader effort to test whether AI is making us cognitively lazy. Curious. That finding has a nasty elegance to it. When the machine helps too much, the writing may pass across the page without ever fully passing through the person. The student turns in an essay, gets a grade, and walks away with less of the thought still inside him. He has produced something. He has not fully possessed it. This is why teachers are uneasy, and they should be. The issue is larger than plagiarism software and school rules. It is about memory, judgment, and the slow formation of an inner life. Writing was never only about output. It was a way of forcing the mind to organize itself. AI can assist that process, yes. It can also short-circuit it. A machine that gives you words too quickly may leave you with fewer of your own. Thoughtful. The trouble with AI is not that it arrives trailing sulfur and violin music. The trouble is that people keep using one word for three very different habits. Some use AI like a tutor. They ask questions, test ideas, and push back. Some use it like a clerk. They let it clean up notes, summarize documents, and save time on routine chores. Some use it like a replacement mind. They drop in a prompt, receive a neat paragraph, and call it a day. Those are not the same activity, and they do not have the same effect on a person. Size. That distinction matters more than the machine itself. A hammer can build a house or smash a window. Nobody writes panicked essays asking whether hammers are ruining civilization. The problem is the hand, the purpose, and the habit formed by repeated use. The OECD's 2025 report on powerful AI and the school curriculum makes this point in a more polite accent. It argues that as AI becomes more capable, schools should place stronger emphasis on human agency, evaluation, and the kinds of judgment students need in order to work with powerful systems rather than surrender to them. In plain English, the machine changes what people must be good at. Getting an answer matters less when answers are cheap. Knowing whether the answer is sound becomes the harder skill. That is where many people get caught. They think AI is a vending machine for intelligence. Put in a prompt, receive competence. But real thinking is still a contact sport. It involves friction, doubt, comparison, and the occasional unpleasant discovery that your first idea was dumb. AI can help with that process. It can also anesthetize it. The same tool can sharpen judgment or soften it into pudding. The machine is powerful, yes. The habit you build around it is the real story. Exhale sharply. If all of this sounds like a case for smashing your laptop with a hammer and moving to a cabin, hold the lumber. AI can also make people sharper. Used the right way, it can save time on dull chores, widen access to feedback, and help ordinary people get unstuck when they would otherwise stall out. That matters because much of modern work is clogged with friction. People spend hours drafting emails, rearranging notes, searching for the right phrase, and wrestling with blank pages that stare back like unpaid bills. Size. In those moments, AI can be useful. It can help people start faster, compare options, and move from confusion to momentum. Harvard Business School reported on March 16, 2026, that generative AI helped workers stretch beyond their usual roles and improve performance on unfamiliar tasks, though it still could not turn novices into experts. In a study involving 78 workers at IG Group, marketing staff and software developers used AI to perform parts of web analysts' work more effectively, especially when it came to organizing ideas and drafting content. That is a real gain. The machine can widen the on-ramp. It cannot replace the driver. That distinction is everything. AI can raise the floor for many people. It can help the decent become competent faster. It can help the competent move with less wasted motion. What it cannot do is hand someone judgment, taste, or mastery in a box. Expertise still comes from long exposure, repeated correction, and the kind of scar tissue no chatbot can donate. So yes, AI can make people sharper. A young worker can use it to brainstorm better questions. A writer can use it to test structure. A small business owner can use it to untangle a mess of notes and turn them into a plan. The tool becomes dangerous when people confuse assisted performance with earned ability. That is like renting a tuxedo and assuming you have become a gentleman. The mirror may flatter you for an evening. Life is less charitable. Pause. That said, AI does not always help skilled people. In some cases, it does the opposite. This is where the story gets more interesting, because the machine begins to look less like a universal genius and more like an overeager intern who keeps rearranging your desk while calling it support. Sarcastic people often assume AI speeds up any task placed in front of it. That assumption survives because it sounds clean and modern. It also flatters the people selling subscriptions. Real work is messier than that. When someone already knows a field well, already understands the terrain, and already has habits that work, AI can become an interruption rather than an aid. A 2025 study from METR found that experienced open source developers using early 2025 AI tools were actually slower when working on tasks in repositories they knew well. The developers predicted AI would make them faster. Instead, the study found the tools often introduced delays through review time, correction, and the need to steer the model away from bad suggestions. That matters far beyond software. The same pattern can appear anywhere deep familiarity counts. A lawyer who knows the case cold may waste time fixing a plausible but sloppy draft. A designer with good taste may spend longer correcting AI's strange little choices than making the thing properly. A writer may get back a paragraph that sounds fluent and dead at the same time, which is its own small insult. This is the hidden cost of AI for skilled people. It can break rhythm. It can insert noise where there was once flow. It can offer shortcuts that lead into a patch of swamp. So the question is no longer whether AI helps. The better question is when it helps, for whom, and at what level of mastery. The beginner may gain speed, the expert may gain a headache, and the machine, cheerful as ever, offers both with identical confidence. Pause. The real dividing line in the age of AI is not access. Plenty of people have access already. The better dividing line is fluency. That means knowing how to work with the machine without quietly handing it the keys to your mind. Size. This is where the conversation gets more serious. In the early days of search engines, the advantage went to people who knew how to search well. In the early days of spreadsheets, the advantage went to people who could make sense of rows and formulas instead of staring at them like farm animals confronted with a casino. AI is creating the same split. The winners will not be the people who use it most. They will be the people who know when to question it, refine it, and ignore it. Anthropic's 2026 AI Fluency Index makes this point clearly. The report tracked 11 observable behaviors across 9,130 Claude conversations and found that the strongest sign of fluency was iteration and refinement. Conversations where users kept refining the exchange showed about double the number of fluency behaviors compared with non-iterative chats. The report also found that when AI was producing concrete outputs like code, apps, or documents, users were less likely to question its reasoning or identify missing context. That pattern is the whole game. People grow stronger with AI when they treat it like a thought partner and weaker when they treat it like an oracle. The first habit builds judgment, the second corrodes it. So the future belongs less to the man with the fanciest model and more to the man who can still tell when the machine is bluffing. That is a rare skill already. It may become the mental version of carrying clean water through a dirty city. Everyone says they value it. Fewer people bother to build the pipe. So, does AI make you dumber? It can. That is the honest answer. It can also make you sharper. The machine does not decide which way it goes. Your habits do. If you use AI to dodge effort, it will train you to dodge effort better. If you use it to avoid writing, avoid reading, avoid checking, and avoid thinking through a problem until it hurts a little, then yes, over time, it will make you weaker. It will turn your mind into a manager of borrowed thoughts. Very polished, very fast, also increasingly hollow. But if you use AI to test your ideas, expose weak spots, compare arguments, and help you move through routine clutter so you can spend more time on judgment, then it can make you better. In that setting, AI is not a replacement mind. It is a tool that clears brush so the real work can begin. Thoughtful. That is why so many educators are uneasy. College Board reported in February 2026 that 92% of faculty surveyed were concerned students were using AI in ways that undermine critical thinking, with 62% saying they were very concerned. Faculty also reported concern about reduced originality, weaker communication skills, and poorer retention of learning. Those fears are not paranoia. They reflect a real danger. Convenience is rarely free. It often sends the bill later. So AI is not a magic spell that makes humanity stupid on contact. It is a force multiplier for whatever discipline or laziness you already bring to the table. For the careless, it can speed up decay. For the serious, it can speed up discovery. And that is the real test of the age ahead. Not who has AI, not who talks about it most, who can still think when the machine goes quiet. Pause. AI is not a brain thief hiding in your laptop. It is a force multiplier for habits. For lazy people, it can speed up mental decay. For disciplined people, it can speed up discovery. Thoughtful. That is why this debate matters. The future will not be split between people who have AI and people who do not. It will be split between people who can still think without it and people who panic the moment the glowing helper goes silent. Chuckles. That is a grim little comedy, and it is already underway. If this made you think a little harder about the machine on your desk, stay with me. Like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel, where we help creatives build community in the age of AI. And until next time, remember, a grand world awaits.